Welcome back to the second tutorial, guys. Now I hope you have downloaded and installed Dave C++ as I told you in the previous one. So let me give you a tour of the interface. Alright, so file in the file option you can find all the normal basic file operations like opening a new one or saving files and all. We don't actually use need to use any of these except execute. Alright, just remember execute, because when we want to run our code we need to do it from execute, or you can use the shortcut key F11. The tools, if you want to customize Dave C++ according to your need, you can do that with the tools thing, but I don't think you need to worry about that right now. If you want any uh, tip of the day or something like that, you can go ahead and hit those buttons. You can mess around with the interface, guys. It's nothing, it's very basic. So this here is the compiler which this one uses, the GCC compiler. Alright, I'll tell you what compiler is in a while. So let's go ahead and make a very first hello world program as I promised. So the first thing which we need to write is hash include IO stream. Alright, now what the hash stands for here is the hash basically means preprocessor. Alright, so whatever statements follow hash are processed before the code is actually compiled. Alright, so include basically means include the header file whose name is iostream with our program. Alright, now make note of this, guys. We don't actually need to write the .h extension for certain header files like iostream. Alright, you can write, or if you don't want to, you should not. Alright, does not matter. The next thing is using namespace std. Okay, so what namespace stands for is the area on the disk where all the contents related to this program will be stored. Right, I'll tell you in a while that how actually the .cpp file which we are going to make is converted into an executable file. Right, so all those files which are temporarily created are stored in the area whose name is std. Now you can give any name here you want. Namespace is the reference of the folder and std is the name of that folder. Alright, the next thing and the most important thing is the main function. So whenever we run the program, the control first passes to the main function. Alright, so now one more thing, guys. As you can see, if I insert a left bracket, the Dave C++ editor puts the right bracket for me. Alright, so I don't need to worry about that. Now this is helpful in many cases, but sometimes it might cause problems, so just make sure you have a proper look at all those brackets. Alright, because while debugging the code, one bracket may spoil the entire thing. Okay, so yeah, so what main basically does is whenever we run our code, the control first comes to the main. We can pass the control anywhere we want from within the main function, not from anywhere else. Alright, so if your program does not contain a main function, it will not run. Okay, so now we want to print hello world on the screen, right? Hello world. Just make sure you do a couple of spelling mistakes here and there, keeps it interesting. Okay, so this string, probably I should correct this one. Okay, so what cout basically is, cout is an object. Alright, it is predefined in this file which stands for input output stream. So what this statement basically does is it prints whatever content we give here within these double quotes on the screen. So this content is passed to cout, which then again passes it to the screen. Alright, stream, it's like a flow of bytes. Okay, and every statement in C++ ends with a semicolon. Alright, now since main is a function, it won't end with a semicolon. I'll tell you what a function is after a few tutorials. So for now, just remember that every statement ends with a semicolon. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it and see if it actually runs. Hello, go ahead, execute, hit compile and run, and there we go. Hello world. Cool. So now if I want this to I want my code to run on my friend's laptop as well. But the problem is he does not seem to have Dave C++. So is it possible that whatever code that I just wrote runs on all the other laptops out there who don't have Dave C++? Absolutely possible. All right. So what if I tell you that whatever code you have written just now has already been converted into a .exe file? Yes, remember .exe? All the setups, everything which we install softwares from are .exe files. So what if I tell you that your code has already been converted into a .exe file? Don't believe me? Well, just go to your documents folder, alright? Because the default location is of Dev C++ is documents. You can change the location from the file and save as option, and you can save whenever you want. But right now it's stored in documents, okay? So there, yes, hello. This is what we made right now, isn't it? But wait, what is this thing right here? We didn't make any of it. This is the .cpp file which we made. Let's go ahead and see the properties. There we go. It tells a .exe extension, okay? So let's go ahead and see what it does. Oops. If you see properly, it's still displaying the text, but it's not waiting for anything. Now obviously it will not wait for anything because we haven't written the code for that. We have just written a code to print hello world or hello world, but we haven't wrote anything to make it stall for a few time. All right, so now what we are going to do is we'll just add one function which is called getch. Now getch stands for get character. So what this will do is it will basically stall the code until the user enters any character through the keyboard. Okay, so for using getch you need conio.h. all right, conio.h. Now you need to specify .h for conio. All right, so let's save it. Okay, it's saved. Let's go back to documents and see. Oops, still not working. Of course. Now get this thing clear, guys. The .exe file will not be modified unless you compile and run your program in Dev C++. Okay, so we just saved it right now. We did not actually compile it, so the .exe file has not been modified just yet. If we go ahead, we hit compile and run. There we go, Hello World. All right. So it will wait for a key this time. Let's go ahead and check it. I run this again. So there we go, our code is now waiting for a response from the user. So as soon I press any key, the code is exits. All right, now you guys might be wondering how the code is actually converted from .cpp to .exe, right? So basically it's a 4-step procedure, right? In the first step, what happens is all the comments and all are stripped off. Now what comments are is you will learn in a few tutorials. uh, the hash statements are executed first in the first step. Then after that, the code is checked for any errors. If there are any errors, it will show you and stop the process right there. The third step is converting this into a machine language code. Now obviously the computer is not going to understand English, right? So we need to convert it to a machine language code. Now once the code is converted into a machine language code, it is the extension for that is .o. It is called object code. Okay, what we write in .cpp file is called the source code. So source code is basically first converted into the object code. After the object code is made, all these files are linked together: the iostream file, the conio file, and our hello.cpp file. All these are linked together, and finally one .exe, that is executable file, is formed. That's the basic process how .cpp is converted to .exe. Alright guys, so that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you practice this code and display your name or something like that, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.